Round 6 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of France here at La Capelle-Maroval. MX2 race 1, Mathis Valin thought he'd grab the foxhole shot, but it was Sacha Koonin who leant on him, got around the outside, and from there the Red Bull KTM rider got his head down and tried to put a gap into everybody. Valin was there in second. The 99 of Perez was third, Everts was fourth, Jonas Raceless 5, and Simon Langenfelder in 6, just ahead of the other triumph, Camden McClellan. Valin here in second, trying to hang on, but halfway around the lap, Perez managed to find his way past and into second, and then started to give chase to the 19 of Koonin, who then fell a lap later, threw away first, picked himself up in fourth. Valin went by, so too did Jonas Raceless, and then all of a sudden, the top two in the championship were back together again, just as we saw in the qualifying race. Langenfelder finding his way past Koonin at the third or fourth time of asking at the bottom of the hill here. And from there, the wheels just kind of fell off the number 19, because coming out of this corner a lap or two later, the number 19 then had this moment that tipped him out of fourth. Eventually, he would come home in 8th place, gifting points to Simon Langenfelder. Jonas Raceless was having a good ride, but then he fell from 4th to 6th on lap 15. Langenfelder thought he'd got third in the books, but a hard-charging Camden McClellan made this move with just over a lap to go to move ahead of the German. But it was all about Guillaume Perez, his third win of the season. Valin coming home second, McClellan third, Langenfelder fourth, Everts fifth, Sacha Koonin was 8th when we look at the big picture in terms of the championship.
Absolument. Merci. Si vous avez une casquette, c'est bien, mais si vous n'avez pas beaucoup de cheveux.
The second MX2 race here in the French Grand Prix, and it was just by about a nobble on the front wheel for the Yamaha of the 772 Jonas Raceless. Mathis Valin was just there behind him, Everts there in third, Langenfelder fourth, Koonin just behind him, but also in the mix with the two triumphs, McClellan there and the 99 of your winner from race 1, Guillaume Perez, with a bit of work to do on this opening lap. So what happened over the course of the race was pretty impressive by the Spaniard. Raceless led the way. Question was, how long could he lead for? Jostling for position throughout. And then around the outside there, this was Perez finding his way into third with that move on Valin on that step down. He went after his teammate, lent on him as well, thought he got the job done here. McClellan came fighting back, but he closed him down, moved into second. He had to wait until about 4 laps to go before he found his way around the outside of Jonas Raceless. And once Raceless lost the lead and the podium position there, second overall, the same lap, Camden McClellan moved around the outside to move into second, and a corner later, Valin moved into third as Raceless left the door open. Raceless would eventually go on to finish in 5th place. Simon Langenfelder fell out of 6th, lost a place to his main rival, Sacha Koonin. Langenfelder came home in 7th. But final couple of corners, Perez had to squeeze his teammate McClellan to prevent him making the pass for the race win. It was Perez, McClellan, Valin, Everts. The overall, though, was Perez, McClellan and Valin on the podium.
Okay guys, trophies please.
Good feeling since we started on Saturday here. Yesterday, let's say I was a bit too excited. You know, no races, little break. Really wanted to cut some points and get in the championship battle. Been hearing a lot of people talking in podcasts where me and my teammate, they're not relating us to the championship battle, and that really upsets me because I think we showed some good things.
In the first MXGP race here in La Capelle-Maroval, all eyes over on the inside gates as Lucas Koonin and Romain Febvre duked it out for the foxhole shot, but it was the Red Bull KTM on the number 5 who managed to bag his third black plate. As he went into that first turn, Romain Febvre got shuffled wide and down to about 8th or 9th position as Tom Vial up to second, Adamo third, Hurlings fourth, but Hurlings was keen to make a move quite rapidly. De Wolf was there in fifth, then Jonas in sixth. Thibaut Beneston did go out on the first lap with a big crash. We hope that he is okay. Romain Febvre then fell weirdly at the start of lap 2, lap 3. He went from 9th to 11th and then would have to be very patient in order to get his way back to 7th, which is what he did. Hurlings up the inside of Adamo. That got him into second on lap 4, but by then, despite trying to close in on Kühnen, in the end he settled for second. This was Geiser going around the outside of Adamo as he moved into third place. That was on lap 10 of 20. De Wolf up the inside of Adamo, just in the same corner, as he forced his way into fourth on lap 14. But Lucas Kühnen in a class of his own, 10-second margin to win in race 1 from Hurlings, Geiser, De Wolf and Adamo.
Adrien Garrigue.
The second MXGP race got off to an explosive start as Tom Vial drifted wide and then started this absolute domino effect of carnage that took out Tim Geiser and several others. We had a red flag situation after that, but it was Lucas Kühnen who led. Hurlings was there in second. We got everybody back, but then there was confusion over who could start and who couldn't. No spare bikes allowed, so the damaged bikes of Geiser and Kühnen and Vial meant that they could not restart. There was carnage at the back going into the turn there. More carnage through here as well that took out Panzer and Jonas. But this time, even though Kai de Wolf grabbed the foxhole shot, Jeffrey Hurlings was into the lead by as early as turn 3. De Wolf there in second, hung on to that second, keeping Kühnen at bay, but he can only do that as early as turn 4. Febvre eventually found his way past Maxime Renault to move into fourth place as they close down on Kai de Wolf. De Wolf here doing his best to keep the Frenchman at bay, but buoyed on by the home crowd, he was able to force his way down the inside and into that third place, which is where he would stay. Well, we thought De Wolf came fighting back immediately. 2 corners later, Febvre back up the inside of the former former MX2 world champion. Eventually he did make that pass stick, and it wasn't long before Maxime Renault had his moment. Eventually found his way through into fourth. De Wolf eventually came home in fifth. This was as close as the battle got, though, between Hurlings and Kühnen. They went on to win first and second, Febvre third. The overall Grand Prix was, as you were, Hurlings, Kühnen and Febvre.
Vous profiterez de l'occasion pour... Compensé par le président de la Fédération française de motocyclisme, Antonio Laportela, le directeur de la commission de France de la Fédération internationale.
Yeah, exactly. I think for like 20 laps or more, so that was demanding. And because of the heat, the last couple laps I started got cramps. So when I came back from the podium, I had a lot of cramp on my legs, but managed to pull it off and go 1-2-1. I'm very pleased with it. It's not an easy track for those guys, so very pleased with the weekend. I want to give it up to Honda Agency Petronas for the great work.